Kia ora, good morning and welcome to Craft to Artosaurus. Today I thought we'd do a little painting. So that's what I've got here. I've got my core paints out and I absolutely love these. So I've got them in this little rather cute portable container that it all fits into here. So when I go plein air painting, I can take everything with me, and it does have two little palettes that I can use to mix with. But today, because I'm at my desk and I'm relaxing and I'm just going to have some fun, I've got my ceramic plate that I'll be mixing on. I've also done a teeny weeny little swatch cards, so I know what my paints look like. And this to me is most probably the most important thing. Swatch your paints. No two paints are ever the same, and when you get new paints from the core range, I usually swatch and just check, because that's how I am. So yep, so first things first. The paper. The paper I'm using is a really cool paper. It's from Honey Mule, and it's a rag mat, 100% cotton. It's really, really thick, lovely, lovely. And I've got a scrap piece here, and I'll be testing colours on this to see if it's the colour I want to put on the painting and that sort of thing. So from time to time you'll see me pull this over and just try a bit of paint on. I don't know if I'll be talking throughout because I'm painting, and when I paint I seem to go into my own little world. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll also speed it up just in case it goes on too long. I've also got two waters, a lovely clear water and my dirty water with my 3D printed puck cleaner in the bottom. So I'm just going to wet the background. I usually spray if I haven't already decided on the picture, but of course I decided on the picture. Annie's got a little fun art swap thing, and I thought I'm just going to do a picture for it. I'm not swapping with anyone this year. I go around my lollipop trees. I want that lovely white underneath, so I don't want any blue if I can possibly help it. But it won't matter if blue does go in there, for the very simple fact of I'm going to be using ink as well, because that's what I do. At the moment I'm painting and then inking, but I used to ink it up all first and then paint. But now I find as I paint, it slowly changes, and that is all of, oh no, I missed a bit there. There we go. Right down into there. And I can see, because the paper looks different, and you can see where it is. So I'm now going to change my brush to number 10 round, and the colour, I don't know, I think I'm going to do ultramarine blue, which is this one here. I obviously used it a bit, but I don't want just that colour. I want to put in, and I'm cleaning my brush in the dirty water, and I'm going to go with my Payne's grey, just a little bit, and I'm mixing it. And I need to go back into my water, clean my brush, clean water. That's what I'm looking for. So I've almost got a Prussian blue. I have got other sets with Prussian blue in it, but I love the way as this paint flows. So I'm not putting this everywhere. As you can see, it just flows everywhere. It's just gorgeous. It goes whoosh and it goes everywhere. And I love the effect of this paint. I'm doing a lovely light wash. I always do a light wash to start with, and I slowly build everything up. So it is a slow process. I'm not like a speedy painter. I love to just play, and you can see this core paint, how it just goes everywhere. And I don't want the whole sky blue, so that's why I'm not worried about the gaps in between. And I'm just going to come over a little bit here. Oh, see, the paper's already dried a bit. You can see that over here. It's already starting to dry out. It's a lovely day. It's a lovely day here. I'm just going to go clean it because my brush is dirty. Go all the way down into my clear water and just add that to here so it will flow a little bit better. I don't mind that it's got a blue tint to it because that's what I'm wanting. But also I don't like the line that it's caused there. Can you see the line in the paint? I don't like that. So yeah, it's just me being picky. It doesn't really matter, but I just want to come all the way out lightly. So I'm dragging that paint. I can see it, but I don't know if you can, but it's slightly there, and that's all I want. And I'm going back into the mix that I made, and I will bring it. See, now that it's wet, it will flow and do what I want it to do, which that's what I'm looking for. And because it's got that Payne's grey, I'm getting a lovely separation between the two paints, which is what I'm looking for. And back again over to where I've mixed, and I'm not worried about the lollipop parts of the tree too much, but I do want this paint to come all the way down. And again, I'm not filling it all in with colour. Going back to my mix, being a bit picky about my bird with my glasses on. Very funky glasses, if I must say myself, which I do. And under here, just a light wash. And I think I'm nearly out of my wash, so I'm quite happy. And I'm just letting the paint move and go where it wants to. Okay, I'm going to clean my brush because now I want to use my Potter's Pink. I always end up using Potter's Pink. I've also got a tissue, which I'm just going to clean. Just check my brush is nice and clean. It is. Go into my clean water, into my Potter's Pink, which I need to fill up. I'm nearly out of Potter's Pink. And I'm just, you've most probably noticed too, I haven't wet these water paints. Because they're core and they're made with honey, they're always wet, they're always damp. So it's quite lovely. Right, I've got a nice little mix there of just Potter's Pink, which is all I was wanting, was just a little bit of Potter's Pink. And I'm just going to dab it. Now this isn't a core colour because core doesn't make Potter's Pink. And so I've got Daniel Smith, which I use quite a bit. It's just, I love this colour. And again, I'm not that worried. I'm just putting the paint down. This is lovely and wet here, so it'll flow beautifully. And just in around here, and a little bit down the bottom here. Okay, cleaning my brush, checking I've got all my paint off. Dry water, and I'm just going to mix it in with that and slowly bring that pink down into the blue. You must do dirty water first, check clean water. Always have 2 bottles on your desk, always, never one. And I just want that to be lighter. Right, there we go. Cleaning my brush off. Nice and clean. My brush is going down. I have the tissue in my hand, which is rather convenient. And I'm just going to dab it down in places. And it's not quite what I'm wanting to do, so I'm just put it in the wet water, the clear water, the clean water, and I'm just coming into that blue This is something I do. You don't necessarily have to do it. It's just, I want a few more kind of, like the clouds are coming. And when I'll leave the pink for now because this has got blue on it, and it'll, see, it's done it lovely here. I'm happy with that end. Turning it over so I can't see any blue, and I'm going to use this edge here because there's blue over here, and I'm just going to very gently dab my potter's pink. I don't want to be too vicious with it. I'm quite happy. Not so happy. That's just a little bit. There we go. Now I'm happier. Now that's the sky done, and because I have used kind of 3 granulating colours, I really want, because this is such rough paper, I really want it to settle down, granulate, split a little bit. So I'm going to go away and just leave it. Some people would hair dry it or heat dry it, but if I do that, my granulation isn't going to work. So it's just the old-fashioned way of walk away, have a cup of tea, and I'll be back later, and we'll slowly paint up the rest of the scene. The town, my little foresty trees, the 2 birds, and the ground. Okay? So we'll see you shortly. And that gives me the green I want. Now I'm just going to gently drop in. Now at this time it does matter. I need to fill in all the little and as you can see, it just travels everywhere. Core paints are just awesome for that. I'm picking up some more of my mix. And I'm going to clean off my brush. Yep, it's clean. Get some more. I'm just going to go straight to the cobalt teal. I am kind of in love with this colour. So here you go. I'll show you what it's like. But because I've already got the green down, it's not going to come out this colour. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the end of my brush, checking. Yep, that's kind of what I want. And I want it here at the very, very edge. And you see how I'm just letting it do its own thing. And I'm just going to let it do its own thing all the way across. Picking up a little bit more on my brush. Checking it's a little bit too dark. And very carefully going along. Now, it doesn't bother me that this isn't a real green or looking like it should, because I'm a whimsical painter and I like the whimsy. I like to add unexpected colours in places, and so this to me is just happiness and bliss. I'll bring my plate over so you can see what I'm doing. So this is the original colour that I've used on the ground. This is my new kind of little bit. Ooh, that's enough. Clearing off my brush, checking, and I think yeah, I'm going to try for cobalt. So I've got quite a bit of cobalt there, and that has given me almost, but not quite, a viridian green. But see how it's not as bright. It's kind of dulled it down a bit. To me that works, and I'd like that on my tree. So I'm going to put it back over here, and I've already got the paint on my brush. If I do my middle tree, then I can't do my two side trees. So I'm going to do the furthest side tree first. I always paint away from me, and that looks lovely. I haven't wet the paper at all because I don't want the paint to move. I want it to be a strong colour. So you see how much stronger that is? And I'm just picking up more of that paint. And because the paper's dry, see how it gives a different texture to the paint? Again, this is because I'm using a rag mat. It's something I like to use. It might not be something you like to use, but you get a different effect with it. Now, I do quite like that. What I would like to do, I'm going to clear off my brush, and that first colour I made, I'm just going to check. I'm going to pick some of that up. Checking again. Yes, that's the colour I want. And I'm just, see how if I drop it in, it's now going to go crazy and it's going to move all over the place, which is what I'm looking for. And I want to bring it all the way down to here. I'm going to clear my brush again. Checking. I'm going for my teal again, my cobalt teal. I do love this colour, and I'm just going to, I think I took too much off. Yeah, that's better. Now I don't want it all over, I just want it in places. And I might not see it when it dries, but that's okay. That's all I want. And I like that effect now. And yes, I can see that I've got the shadow of the colour there, but I'm going to sort that out later. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to be going ink over it. And also I kind of like it. So from there, I'm going straight to this tree. Just checking. Yes, it's nice and clean. I'm going to the first colour I made. I'm not wetting it. So it's almost like a Viridian green, but it's duller. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that dullness. I don't want that bright Viridian. I want the tone of the Viridian. My brush had way too much water within because it's a fake squirrel brush. Synthetic squirrel is what they call it, but I call it fake squirrel. It saves the squirrels. I love the squirrels. Squirrels are cute. Then again, we don't have squirrels in New Zealand, so I don't know how much damage they do. Those who have squirrels might not agree with me, but squirrels are cute, so I think it's rather cool. Now you can see the blue of the sky, and because it's watercolour, I can slowly move it into my picture. This tree is nowhere near as bright as the other tree, but that's okay. I think I'll mix a little bit more up. So I use the sap green, remember? There we go, got the sap green. And with that, I used my cobalt blue. A little bit more cobalt blue. That's the colour I'm looking for. It might not be exact. Nope, I'm happy with that. Or maybe it's a bit greener. It might need a bit more blue. That might be it. Yes, that's it. Now I'm just putting this around the outside where I can see I need it. Just to make it, because the inside, remember, I'm already putting a light colour there. And again, these brushes just have an amazing point. I can see a water droplet there, and if that drops onto my painting, it will ruin it. And at the moment I can see I really like this, so it could be one that gets framed and put up on the wall. Or framed and I'll give to someone. Right, so now I'm looking to go back to my original colour. Clean my brush. Check my brush. Fresh water. I don't want as much water on my brush, so I'm taking some of it out. Checking now for droplets because it's happened once, so it's going to happen again. Picking up the lighter colour that I first made for down here. Dropping that in. I call them lollipop trees because they just, you know, I usually do round ones, but I've just started making these ones, and I'm still using the same method. I just love how these trees look. And now I'm going to clean my brush, check my brush, water my brush, and straighten to the teal. Yep. And again, I want it at the top, just dropping it in. Picking up a little bit more, dropping it down, a bit thicker. Yep. And even though those trees use the same colours, see how different they look just by the effect. Do I like that? Yes, I do. I actually like that one more than that one. That's okay. Now, I can't do the middle tree because remember, both sides are wet. And if I do the middle tree, the paint will go straight into there. This is core paint. This will just flow, flow, flow. I'm actually, oh, actually, even though it's green, I kind of like it. And it does go with the ground. And I could put that in the ground down here. And that's nearly dry, so I'm going to put it up here. Again, I'm not wetting because I just want that strong colour. So to get that strong colour, I don't wet the paper. Yes, I'm going to put in some raw sienna. Excuse me. Raw sienna on my brush. See, there you go. And just straight like that, I'm just going to put it in the middle and let it do its thing. And you see how it's just flowing out from there. Bringing it all the way down to the bottom. And I'm just going to leave it alone. That's it. Boom, done. That lane going into the mix that I've made for this tree over here. And starting at the top. Yes, I do like that. Picking up raw sienna. And I just want it to be a little bit darker. And straight away you can see that's the effect I'm looking for, that running effect. And I'm going again straight in, straight away. I'm not drying anything. I'm not wetting anything. I'm just going straight in because I want that nice, lovely, dark paint. No. That's another house there. Comes in a little bit and down. I have to fix up the roof when I come along. There we go. Now, because I'm using a granulating paint again, I am just going to wait for it to dry naturally. And as you can see, it's not taking very long to dry at all because it's so hot here today. Perfect day to go and paint. Hi, Paula here. I've sped up my painting because I just thought it was getting ridiculously long and also a little bit repetitive. I hope you don't mind, but I just thought this was a better way of tackling it. So as you can see, I'm just starting now to carry on painting the houses in the background. And this is dry paper with wet paint, and it's giving a lovely effect. And I like that paint so much, I thought, right, I'm using it in the door. And I really, I'm also going to use the same tone in the birds at the front there. And I like using the same colours in lots of different places. It just brings everything together nicely. I've done a lovely light wash of the sap green, and from there I'm going to make a thicker wash, a darker wash of the sap green, and slowly go on the outside of this tree. So here we go, I'm mixing it up now, and there we are. Here's the slightly darker sap green. And I use this when I also do moons. I'll do a nice light colour for the moon, and then I'll slowly bring a darker colour on the outside. Now that same orange I've used on the house and the door, I'm going to bring now to the side of the tree. And this is just bringing that colour into another place so I can see it in more than one place. And it just, to me, it brings a painting together. It really does. And that sap green is just looking lovely there. I've gone over to a Payne's grey, and I will use this Payne's grey to add depth in places. So the little tent there that I haven't painted up yet in the very front of the little orange house, there's a little tent. I'll be using that to add depth through the doorway and everything. I will use a thicker wash to the sides of the building and the sides of, I don't know what they're called, the little square things. So yeah, it just gives a bit of depth there. I won't use any of Payne's grey on my birds. I like them to be nice and bright, and I have an idea for the birds. And so now I'm really thinking of the birds. You can tell I am, because I've got out my magenta colour. And I know magenta is going to go down onto the birds because it's a nice bright colour. And I'm also going to use a gold colour shortly. You'll see the gold coming in. And again, that's going down onto the birds because I just like this colour. It's just lots of fun. Again, everything here is dry paper, wet paint. And there's the gold going there. And this is the gold that will come down onto the birds, especially the bird with the lovely glasses. And you can see, I'm using the same method. I'm putting darker shade on the outside to give that depth to the roof. And I'll go underneath the windowsills. And all of the windowsills will soon have a darker colour underneath. But I've cut that bit out because I thought too long. It's just ridiculously too long. I'm going in with a light wash here of sap green, and I'm not liking that very much at all. So from there I'm going to use a darker wash of sap green, and I'm also going to drop in cobalt teal, the viridium green that I've already made for the first two trees. I've still got a little bit of that left, and I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to remix that, and I'm going to use it on the last little hill. You'll see that shortly. And into there I'll be putting cobalt because it's a lovely colour, and I'll also be putting in a little bit of the gold just to give the hill a little bit of lightness. And there you go, there's the cobalt and there's the gold that's gone down. Now we're starting on the birds, and it's not far from doing the little bird and the big Annie bird's body that I then take over again, and you'll have me talking. So if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. A comment would be wonderful, thank you. And I will answer you because I love to talk to people. So I'm just slowly getting the birds all done. At the moment they look very blotchy, but you'll see at the end picture where I have done all of my inking that it all slowly comes together. And you'll also see the birds looking rather grand. I do like how the inking's turned out. I'm not that happy with the castle, I will say that. So this will not be going up on the wall anywhere. I'm just not very happy at all. I picked up the wrong ink pen and it was far too thick, and it's just spoiled the whole picture. And sometimes that happens, and so it's just a learning curve. It's an okay picture. I'm kind of happy with it in parts. I can see what I like. So have a lovely day today, and I'll be posting this later on. And I'm just doing the legs here, going in with the orange I've used on the door. And I'm thinking, oh yes, I love those legs. And I still do. I think they're super cute. Okay, well, that is the painting all finished, and I'll be back when it's all dry and we'll ink it up, and it's nearly complete. So we'll see you shortly. Bye.